from Freedom Pilates, and I'm going to take you through today how to assemble your brand new Dream 2.0 reformer. So firstly, massive congrats. It must be really exciting that your dream has arrived. It will literally take you about 10 minutes, if that, to get your Dream 2.0 set up. So let's get started. Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do is to get all of your stuff out first. I've just laid everything out as it would come in your crate. You will find a little toolkit. You actually won't need it. You probably won't need it at all for your Dream 2.0. It's just there with some little helpful little tools if you ever need maintenance wise, but to get set up, it's really easy. In fact, this is one of the easiest reformers to set up that we have. So I'll just pop that toolkit down. So I've kind of laid everything out where it goes in the reformer. So we're going to get started with the shoulder pads. So being that your carriage already comes inside of the frame, we don't have to worry about that at all. So you are going to need your 2 shoulder pads, and you'll find 2 screws and a washer for each one. So really simple, guys. You can slightly change the position of your shoulder pads if you want it further apart or closer together, but I'm going to put the longer way closer to the headrest. So you just literally pop it into that slot just there, jump under the machine, make sure the washer is closest to the black screw, and then screw that shoulder pad in from underneath the frame. So I'm going to do that now. It can be a little bit fiddly. It's sometimes easier to pop it on its side, pop the frame on its side, but I'm just going to come underneath and show you how you do it this way. So once that is screwed in nice and tight, you just do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to put the slightly longer way closer to the headrest, but again, like I said, you can easily change that. Slot it in, and same thing, screw, washer on top, and then from underneath. Now those are both on, the only other step to finish off your shoulder pad area is to grab onto your posts, and you'll also find a little washer with each of these as well. I can get it off the floor. So you're just going to pop the washer through the bottom of that shoulder pad post, pop it into the hole behind the shoulder pad, and screw it down. So this is the post that your hand and foot loops are going to live on. So just screw that in nice and tight and repeat on the other side. So wash it in, pop it down into the hole and screw it. Alright, only a few steps to go. So like I said, this is a really easy reformer to get set up. Okay, next step, I'm going to put my risers in. So you will find 2 risers, whether they are black or white, and you're going to find 2 pins. So these little pins with the black little keys. So I'm going to put my pulley system facing towards the foot bar. You'll find a little hole in the bottom of that hole. Slot it down, and then the pin just goes in through the back of the frame. So it can be a little bit fiddly. Sometimes it's actually easier just to look and see when that hole meets. Go. See, real time with you guys. So repeat that on the other side. Again, line it up nice and straight. Pop it down through the hole. Watch through the back hole when it slides through and meets, and then pop the pin in. So that is how your risers should look at the top. Next step, and this is the one that people get confused about because we have a brand new feature on our Dream 2.0 reformer. So quite often people will look at these excess ropes and be like, my ropes are missing. Your ropes are not missing, your ropes are in a system underneath your carriage. So if you have a wee look, you'll see that they're in a circle system where if you pull the rope out from underneath that little silver gate, if you let it go, it will automatically retract it back. So it's a really great system, meaning that any excess rope is not left dangling off on the floor. So all you need to do is take it out from that little silver holder, open up the two little black plastic gates and pull it through quite far. Close the gates back up. So you've got see, it retracts well. You're going to want to pull it and make sure the gates are shut. Steph, come on. All right. Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm just going to hold it there. I'm going to put it under the silver little holder, that's why. Okay, so I've got my nice big long excess rope here. You are going to come to the risers and you're going to put that top part, that end part of that rope down through the top of the riser. It will feel like it's quite tight. It's supposed to. So really give it a good little shove through. Shove it. I'm just going to pinch mine a little bit more at the top, and then put it through. There we go. Okay, pull it all the way back through. Once you get to that point, grab onto one of your hand and foot loops, so that'll be dangling on its own, and then you're going to knot it through itself. So I'm going to open up the end of that hand and foot loop with my hand, grab onto this from the end, and then I'm going to put it through like that. Open up the little excess part of the rope and feed it through. So it's just like a little knot that goes through and pull, like that. So that's how you attach it. So it's just a simple knot attachment, feed it through itself. The long loop is going to live over top of that post, and so you'll see there's quite a bit of excess rope there. So I'm going to take it out of that little silver holder, let it feed itself through until it's at a nice distance, and then feed it back underneath that silver holder. So I like to have my long foot loop so that it comfortably sits over top of that post. So it's not really super tight and pulling on the springs. It should really comfortably sit over top and sit like that. So I'm going to repeat that on the other side. So taking it out of its little silver holder, open up the two little black gates, pull through, learn from the other side, put it back underneath the holder, pinch the top part of that excess rope, feed it down through the top of the riser, pull it down all the way back, grab onto your hand and foot loop. So I'm going to do the same thing. So, I mean, you can do it either way really, but I'm just going to open up the end, feed it through, then open up this end, feed the hand and foot loop back through, and pull. So easy. Right, feed it, place it over top of that post. I'm going to take it out from that silver holder. It should automatically come to the right length and back underneath. Make sure it's through those gates though first. So open up the gates, close them up, feed it through. When you're lying down on your reformer for the first time, you will feel if one side is tighter than the other. So just make sure they're nice and even. I can already see this one's a wee bit looser. Oh, sorry, a wee bit tighter. But super easy just to fix. All you need to do is just give it a little teeny yank and it should fix itself up. Right, we're almost done. Okay, I mean this next one's pretty obvious, but grab onto your standing platform and it just slots into there, like so. Springs are all there anyway. Your platform extender will come in a separate piece. So if you've never used a platform extender before, essentially it means that you can just get, I'm just going to move your foot bar up and down, by the way, equal weight on both sides, pull towards you, lift and lower. It just means that you can get a fully flat foot on your platform. So you're not gripping onto the platform when it's nice and narrow like the current one is. So just press that carriage back slightly, place it inside, and you'll have a great surface to then work on when you're doing any standing or kneeling work on the platform. I tend to take it off when I'm not using it for standing work or kneeling work, just so you can access the springs a little bit better. But for the purpose of this video, I will keep it in. You will also find while I'm here, when you press the carriage back, you'll find your stoppers. So they just slip out nicely. You can move them into the 4 different positions you can see with those pre-drilled holes. So the position that they will come in is the one closest to the springs. That is a general position that they stay in. If you're taller, you move them further back closer to the risers. So I am 167 centimeters. I keep them in that first one. So if you're any taller than me, then you would move them back. So I'm going to keep those there for now. I'll pop that platform extender back in. A couple more things to talk about. So I'm just going to move that foot bar back up. Pull towards you, lift and lower. Is your strap on the end. So you will, I think I've already attached the carabiners. So you just attach the carabiners onto the end and you can move them depending on how tall you are into different positions here. Open up the carabiners, clip them on, super easy. And that is the setup of your reformer done. So I told you it's super easy. You can lift and lower that headrest as you need, but that is basically it. I'm going to now quickly take you through the jump board before we finish up. Okay, last but not least, I'm just going to take you through the jump board. So what you're going to want to do is just move your foot bar into a position where it's out of the way. So for the purpose of this, I'm just going to move it all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to get rid of my platform extender. And then you also take out your normal platform. You're using jump board. We have redesigned the Dream 2.0 jump board. So it is now our most secure jump board in our whole range of reformers, which is really exciting. We have added on these 2 steel poles on both sides. So what I'm going to do, pretty obvious, but I'll tell you anyway, pop them into these slots, the circle slots, and you're going to want to make sure it goes all the way down. So that wood should be almost touching the frame at the bottom here. Sometimes with the screws at the bottom, which I'll talk to you about now, it can get stuck a little bit. Make sure it's all the way down. Now, you do not need your foot bar behind this jump board like some of our other reformers, because it is supported enough by the steel poles and the screws that the foot bar is not necessary. So keep it out of the way. This is one part though that not a lot of people notice when they get their new Dream 2.0s, is that if you look underneath the frame, underneath the, at the end legs here, there are screws. Now you're going to want to screw them really tight as you can. And this will help make your jump board completely secure. So I've tightened up that one. There's one on this side. Tighten that bad boy up. All the way, and so now you will find that your jump board does not budge. It is so secure. So even when you're doing jumping work on heavy springs, that bad boy ain't moving. It is stuck in place. So don't forget about those screws at the bottom, and then obviously you have to unscrew them to take it out as well. So sometimes when you're unscrewing and taking it out, some of the little part of the screw can stay in there. So that's what I was meaning. Make sure when you're putting it in, it is all the way down. You might need to slightly unscrew to do so. And that's it, guys. I told you, so easy. I really hope that you love your new Dream 2.0. If there's anything that we haven't covered in this video, or anything that you have a question about, please don't ever hesitate to get in touch with us. We know these bad boys inside out, so we are always here to support you. Or if anything happened to be missing, or if you are not sure about something, just get in touch with us and we will be there to help you. Enjoy, guys. See you later.